What are the key aspects of a good bathroom design? This video looks at understanding washroom design from the aspects of hygiene, sustainability, and aesthetics. So if you're renovating your bathroom or you want to know more about washroom design, then this video is a must watch. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm architect Monica Khosla Bhargav and I run Khum Consultants, an architecture and interior design firm. Before we get into the video, do remember to subscribe and support my channel with your likes and comments. Also, if you have any questions, put them in the comment box and I shall get back to you. Let's start with aesthetics. This is something which has elevated the bathroom from a place of utility to a place of vanity. I prefer to style the bathroom as an extension of the adjacent bedroom. It gives it a feeling of a suite. I know that some resorts, they carry this concept forward by providing glass partitions or no partition between the bedroom and the bathroom, but I prefer the home bathroom as a private place. So here are 5 tips that I use to step up the aesthetic quotient of the washroom. For me, the color combination of the bathroom is determined by that of the adjacent room. Just a hint of it. I prefer to keep the color palette earthy, neutral or nature inspired for a timeless feel. You may change the color of the walls of the room or the wallpapers in, let's say, 5 years, but the washroom has more permanent finishes and it needs a long-lasting appeal. Colors, they can be brought in through tiles, stones, solid surfaces, sanitary fittings, fixtures, accessories, and of course, your creativity in combining these. The style element is brought in by the vanity counter and the storage shelves. The different ways that you use to combine these elements is what helps to create this area as an extension of your dresser. Another bathroom essential is the mirror, and this hugely adds to the aesthetics of the space. You can use it as a full wall or as a decorative feature in different shapes and designs, like the round, the oblong, or even the abstract. I love the LED inbuilt lights in vanity mirrors. Another bathroom essential is the small magnified mirror, preferably with lights. This is very useful for shaving or for wearing eye makeup. Now lights, both decorative and functional, add to the appeal of a washroom. Watch my video on Home Lighting 101 for a better understanding of decorative and functional lights. Now in a washroom, the lights above the bath area should be IP protected, which means that they should not get affected by moisture. Plants and flowers, they add a lot to the freshness and fragrance of a bathroom. So even if it's that simple money plant or syngonium, do bring in that finishing touch to your bathroom decor. The second aspect of bathroom design that is extremely important to me is related to sustainable living. Now, the washroom is an area of the house which both uses water and generates waste. Water is vital for human life and is a limited natural resource. There's an acute shortage of water in the world, and this issue needs to be definitely kept in mind while designing bathrooms. Again, the management of soil and water waste in a toilet is an aspect of urban living which creates large-scale pollution. So the next 5 pointers are about the more sustainable options in a good bathroom design. I personally recommend a shower for the bathing area rather than the bathtub. Beyond the sheer volume of water that is wasted in a bathtub, I feel that we are in a hurry in the morning and prefer to take that quick shower. Bathtubs are for that de-stressing, relaxed bath. So if you want to enjoy the luxury of one, then limit it to, say, just one room or a home spa. Next, the choice of shower fixtures. Rain showers are a huge rage now, but choose them with care. The larger the size of the shower head, the greater the outflow of water. I prefer using showers and faucets which incorporate a mix of air and water. This increases the pressure and at the same time reduces the volume of water outflow, a much more sustainable option. Another thing to consider is the capacity of the geyser basis the fixture you're using. If you're using a large shower head or a bathtub, match the capacity of the geyser to the outflow of water required. It's also a good idea to consider using a solar-powered geyser here if it's possible for you. You may refer to my video on Sustainable Diwali about different ways you can use solar power at home. Now, coming to the materials to be used. I prefer using products like vitrified tiles, ceramic tiles or slim tiles for the walls and floor rather than marble or natural products. We are destroying our mountains and rocks with intense quarrying, and for what? Let's switch to these industrially manufactured products. I especially recommend using solid surfaces for the vanity counters. In the shower areas, I prefer the glass partitions or cubicles rather than the plastic shower curtains. But when you purchase these, be sure to check the brand, because sometimes the glass and the stainless steel hardware may be perfect, but the screws used to fix the hardware may not be of stainless steel and can rust. Now, the last and most important aspect of a bathroom design: hygiene. Because if the services don't work, if the plumbing is clogged, the drainage is not working, if there's a bad odor, then nothing about the bathroom feels good. Remember to segregate the dry areas and the wet areas. By wet areas, I mean the shower or the bathtub area, and by dry areas, I mean the vanity counter and the WC or the water closet. Now, how do we segregate? We segregate by keeping the bathing area on one side and not in the middle. The next thing is to keep minimum bends on the WC pipe. This avoids the clogging of the soil pipe. Next, coming to the type of WC or water closet that we should use. I prefer using the wall-mounted ones rather than the floor ones. This helps to keep the floor area beneath the WC clean. Rimless and self-cleaning WCs have been recently launched, bringing in an all-new level of hygiene. Next, coming to the drainage. The floor of the shower area should slope towards the floor drainage trap. In the dry areas, remember to include a small trap beneath the health faucet near the WC to drain the water off. You can use concealed traps as well. A wide variety is available in the market, and you can cover them up with the matching tile or marble of the floor. I also recommend using anti-cockroach jalis or traps for those traps which link to the main pipe, because these really help to reduce the number of insects and odor in the bathroom. For the wash basin, use a bottle trap and not the floor trap. Doing this ensures that the vanity cabinet below the wash basin can be elevated, say, a foot above the floor, and it helps in keeping the bathroom clean. These are the pointers that my team and I use while designing bathrooms, and I hope that you find them helpful in designing yours too.